Hi, welcome back. Let's take another look at Oric Trek. It's a very frustrating game, I've got to be honest, but I've got it running here on an emulator. So what I thought I'd do is try and figure out the controls by reverse engineering it. So I've installed a copy of Oric Explorer, which is an amazing program, and with that you're able to look at the contents of the tap file. In this case, it's a basic program, and then you can extract that to a text file. So I've got that here in Visual Studio Code. Just bring that up a minute. Oh, hang on, where's it gone? Okay, it's Visual Studio Code. So this is the source code for Oric Trek, and it's been a bit of a mission to try and figure it out, but I think I've got there. So first thing you want to do is to look for some keyboard input. So you look for the word key. So in key dollar waits for a key press, so it's blocking, whereas key dollar doesn't. It's an inline thing. So we can see that is taking that into a string. That's all fine, but a lot of this stuff actually it ends up converting it to an integer. Let me just show you that. It all become clear. So there we go. Hang on, let's go down again. Key, yeah, and C. So it's taking the input here. So in dollar, which is a string, and that's from the keyboard. Then it's converting it into a number, and then it's doing various operations on that. So this here is saying, right, if there's no key pressed, then it returns from whatever's calling it. Convert it into a number. If the number is 13, i.e. the enter key has been pressed, then go to this line. So with that sort of structure in mind, I came up with this this notepad here, and as I'm gradually trying to figure out what on earth's going on. So I think I've got it all now, and it's not the best picture. So what I was struggling with before is to understand how to fire weapons. So you have, using the ASCII codes, I was then able to, in fact, I've got to move that there, move that there. So those are phaser weapon power, and torpedo seems to be number 7 there. So numeric key 7. So I think with that there, other stuff, there's the escape key is that's an escape key. And I think it is to exit various menus and that sort of stuff. So if I can get rid of all that, then I think these are the controls. Now, it doesn't necessarily make it better. So in order to do this, if we take this as an example, so there's a return there, so this must be being called somewhere else. So if we have a look at that, yeah, okay, so that is being called based on what AF is. So AF is being conditioned, and it's basically a list. So on AF, it'll go to that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on what it equals. Okay, that's fine. So the line we were looking at before is there. So based on whatever that other condition was, it will start here, and if there's no key pressed, then it will return. If enter's pressed, then it will fast wind to 2040, which is down here. So this is how it figures out the if-else kind of statements, because there's no procedural definitions in Oric Basic. It's a pretty standard basic. It's not like BBC Basic where you can have functions and stuff like that. It's a lot cruder. So in order to do lots of conditionals, this is one way of doing it, as it cascades through. So it will say if there's something dodgy, then go there. If it's dodgy, then go there. If it's dodgy, then go there, and so on and so on and so on, until such time as you're good, and then you end up further down where you actually do stuff, if that makes sense. So here it's saying, right, I'm going to set the shield energy to whatever. That's too much. Well, okay, we'll return and try again. Or if not, then you end up down here and actually setting it. So this whole thing is setting the shield energy. Notice that there's one or two instances where there's still a remark value, but there's no text next to it. So I think the developer had originally had a whole load of remarks in the code. Typically, you would remove those in a production setting, so you reduce the size of the bundle, which is good. In this case, it will improve loading time, and that's great. But unfortunately, now, many years later, without a manual, trying to figure out what the hell it is tricky. So I think I've managed to get to a point where I understand it. However, the big question is, has that made the game playable? Well, not really. So if I load this up now, so 0, 0. So you've got a finite amount of energy, and that's great. So the first thing you need to do is to set a shield, because if you start getting attacked, then all your systems go offline. So you need to get in there quick. And I think the decision of it being, in quotes, real time is not a great one. It seemed like a great idea, so, but I'm not sure it is. So let's put 50 units worth of shield. So we're getting attacked already. Okay, so our phasers have been hit. Shield controller has been hit. So if I now start firing back, there you go. So I've managed to destroy that guy by firing my phasers. This is obviously using energy as I go. Phasers are now damaged. So if I then use my maneuvering thrusters to, and I go that way, I'm not sure I can do it, but I press 7, impulse drive shut down. Okay, that's fine. If I press 7, 8, I think it's, oh yeah, there we go. So there's a torpedo that's disappeared to the left. And I don't know why it's gone to the left. I think it's based on the last navigational input you had. Oh no, you actually can control it. Oh, excellent. Okay. Oh, I've just destroyed myself. Right. Okay. So you actually so the torpedo is fly by wire. Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay. I think it's quite compatible with Atmos, which is why you've got this stuff here. Okay, let's put the shields up before things go bad. Come on. 5, 0, yes. Torpedo is 7. Torpedo tube's damaged. Oh no, let's use the phasers. Phasers damaged. Oh, for goodness sake. You see, you get into this situation quite quickly. Let's get the hell out of here. So I can maneuver. Let's say destroy my impulse engine. Okay. It will keep going. So I just stop that a minute. So currently I've got phasers and torpedoes damaged. It's so frustrating. It really is frustrating. It's not an easy game at all. Either that or I just don't understand it. But I think it's just not that good. I really don't want to criticise because it has all the potential for greatness. But I don't think it needs to be a real-time strategy. It needs to be turn-based, and then it would actually be half decent. So if we just wait a minute, hopefully damage control will kick in. So you press D, and that gives you an idea of the damage report. So it's still, stuff is being repaired as we speak. I mean, that's really annoying. I'll move that way. Let go of it. Windows 11. That's good. So it's still trying to fix things. The torpedoes are still dodgy. So I think things are being actively repaired. They go green, and then after if their flashing is really bad, then they go green, and then they disappear, and everything's fine. Okay, so our shields are still up. Come on. Okay, so let's go back into the fight then. Okay, so if I press 7, I need to fire back at these guys actually. Doesn't seem to be doing much. It seems to be missing. Oh, for goodness sake. It's so frustrating. Oh, oh dear. So I just don't know. It's... Oh. I feel I need to rewrite this game. Maybe I should rewrite this game. Because there's potential there. It's just... it's written in BASIC, so it is pretty slow on the refresh. And I think that's part of the problem. If it was a bit more consistent, I think is the word. Anyway, let me see if I can show you what the torpedoes look like. So let's do that. Shields, impulse engines are damaged. Great. Come put the bloody shields up, you idiots. Torpedo tubes are damaged. Bloody hell, this is so frustrating. I haven't even started and I'm under attack and it's all gone to pear-shaped. Oh, well, there it was gone. Shield controller's damaged. I can't even... I just can't do anything. Can I warp out of it? Nope, warp engines are damaged. Everything's damaged. Even the damage control's damaged. This is very annoying. Okay, well, it was the game that never was, unfortunately. Anyway, don't think it's me. I'll tell you one bugbear I do have with it is there is a key here where you can surrender. And it says you've been demoted to the captain of the Fairy Queen, whatever, fine. But as a ardent Trekkie, it was very annoying because one of the messages that I got was saying that there was going to be the death penalty. And as anyone who loves Star Trek knows, Star Trek General Order 7 is the only instance where the death penalty is on the books. And that's for contact with Talos 4 to avoid the Starfleet being taken over by mind control aliens. So that's the only death penalty. So there we go. Just to clarify, whoever wrote this obviously loves Star Trek, but they got that wrong. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you next time. Cheers.